Hello, my name is Mark Bernardi, aka Octogen. The response is unbelievable. So it's been a wee bit of a weird one because you put an album out and it's the first sort of main big album that I've put out on a sort of major sort of electronic label, you know, and Soma put out so much, you know, and that was one of the worries was like because they put out so much, there's albums and 12 all the time. You worry that it might not sort of get picked up on, you know. But like last month, I just checked again, like today, IDJ Mag's last month review was just, you couldn't actually pay for a better review, to be honest. You know, the review was a full page and they were putting me in the same class as heroes of mine, you know, and album of the month for that, album of the month for DJ Mag this month, and MA, and all full stars, all like, I check a lot of the sort of electronic forums all around the world and all that, and it's just the reviews it's really strange, but I've not actually read one bad review yet, you know, and that's a wee bit freaky for me, you know. It's weird, you know. I had all this press 2 years ago for another project that I done, and it never sort of happened, you know, and I'm getting all this press again, but for my own music, you know, and it's brilliant. It's out of this world. I'm on a high just now, to be honest. I'm on a high period, you know. It could, as we all know in this business, it could all fall tomorrow, you know, but it's at this point the press and the reviews and everything is amazing. It really is. I don't DJ, so I don't buy records, I don't listen to tunes, to be honest, any time. But I've just had a wee boy and stuff, obviously who the album's named after, and like, I've not got time to go out and buy records and listen to other people's tunes. I drive from my work to go home. When I go home, I go out my studio and I make tunes. So yeah, that's been picked up on quite a lot of interviews where you've not followed the minimal thing, you've not followed this. I just write tunes, you know, and I'm lucky that people like them, and that's it. I'm not copying anybody. I'm not going, oh, that fucking Lord Garnier track's amazing, I think I'm going to rip that off, and you know, I don't actually listen to other people's music, so it's a bit of a weird. No, I don't know if it's a subconscious thing I had in my head or not, but I couldn't put an electro album out on Soma, you know. It's Soma, I've got so many good credible names, you know, like who do Four on the Floor, amazing, and that was I was a wee bit worried about, because I don't do it. Electro is my love, that's how I got picked to sign with Clone, and that's all I do. I love it, you know, and I knew if I was going to do a Soma album, I would have to do Four on the Floors, you know. And you've got people who can do it amazing, like Lars, Alex, Repeat, you know, all these guys, Black Dog, I mean, they're all amazing, man, you know, and like to compete with these guys, or not just to be at a level that I'm on with these guys, you know, was a wee bit worrying for me. So, but I just wrote the album, and that's what came out, you know. I wrote 22 odd tracks, and I had to cut it, you know, when you write all these tracks, you've got to try and make them all fit and stuff, you know, and it just happened, you know, with my Clone stuff. I know sort of what way I'm going to go, you know, but with the Soma stuff, I don't know, it's really weird. It's a strange thing, because I started writing this live set last night, a couple of nights ago, for a Soma live set, and no matter how much I tried to make it, I was trying to make it more Clone sounding, right? I was wanting to try and write a sort of Doppler effects type tune, right? you know, and no matter what way I went, it always sounded like I saw my life in it, and I was like, that's fucking really good, that's how that's it. But I'm still using sort of tricks and stuff that Drexia and all my idols used before, you know, like just the way that they do it, the way that they arrange things, and the way the type of sounds that they use, and the way that they intertwine melodies and all that, is what I'm what I'm into, you know. And but it still sounded it still sounded like it could go out on a solo live set. So it's weird. I don't know why that's happened to me. I don't know how it's happened, but it just is. You know, it's really weird. I'm going to have to start writing some new clone tracks. I've got 2 new releases coming out on clone. The tracks I handed in at sort of the end of last year. I've got a new 12 coming out on dub. Clone's sort of more experimental label. And I've got another Frustrated Funk 12 coming out as well. But just my whole time was based on Soma just now, you know. It's just this album, just with the press and the gigs that I'm getting, it's just went sort of quite quickly from there to there, you know. And I'm battling with myself trying to get the live set together, because I'm constantly changing my live set as well all the time, you know. Every time when people come and see me live, they will always see a different live set every time they come and see me, whether it's a Soma set or a clone set, you know. The last couple of gigs I've been using an analog sequencer, Trigger and Ableton, but using Ableton as a sampler with a couple of synths and stuff. But I was getting hammered at customs at airports, you know. Like every gig I was doing, I was minimum 10 kilos over, and I was just like, this is just ridiculous. Every time I was having to charge people more money because I was getting bumped by the airline companies, because they're only, like Ryanair only give you 20 kilograms now, you know, and I'm just like, that's like useless, you know. So I've had to sort of cut it down. I don't want to stand behind a computer sending emails, it just looks the worst ever. So I'm still using an analog sequencer, but I've cut it down to just an analog sequencer, Ableton, and one Access Virus rack, and I use Reactor in my well, I use Reactor for my clone stuff, but not for my Soma stuff, in my computer, and that's it. Total minimum setup. And I mean, it's all still live. It's all obviously all the sequencing are live, and all the synths are all coming from the sequencer, but it's just cut down, you know. But I've been doing live. That was what I first started doing before anything. Live sets was what I'd done before I even got released or anything. I used to have an Atari. 15 years ago or something now, you know. I had an Atari Falcon, and I used to, one of my best mates is Mash from XFM, and he started doing nights up at the Subway, and he used to do a night called Electric Bogey, and because he was one of my best mates, he was just like, look, I really love your stuff, do you want to do a live set? And that was like years and years and years ago, and I was like, yeah. And I would, because I was from Glasgow, take Atari down, and I'd have like 15 synths and 20 samplers, you know, and it was just like a pure Rick Wakeman concert everywhere, you know. And I just started off from doing that. So that's the live things what I've done before I ever got any records released or anything like that, to be honest. Yeah. You've got to sort of keep a head on things, because you do tend to take things for granted, you know. I so try and keep my feet on the ground when it comes to things like releasing records, you know. I go, yeah, well, I released this record, and you take it as if it's just a normal part. It's still a really good thing to have, you know. But releasing records has just became a sort of part of my life now. The live thing is what I loved. It's great, man. Being able to, especially when you're doing places like Fabric and stuff, you know, controlling a crowd by a mute drum, a button that mutes the kick, you know, controlling like the loft as well, you know, like controlling 3,000 people by a solo button, you know. It's brilliant. You can't beat that, you know, when you've got a groove going, and they see those faces, and you just hit the mute kick in, and it's amazing, you know. You can't. There's Coke, pills, can't beat that. It's better than any of that, you know. It's amazing.